لا إله إلا الله.
The month of Muharram is one of those sacred months where our deeds are magnified and the divine scrutiny is far more absolute. There are certain practices that we do. Fasting, for example, is emphatically recommended, especially on the day of Ashura, which commemorates the ancient event in human history where Bani Israel were rescued from the tyranny of Fir'aun. And according to our historians, the 10th day, the day of Ashura, has been that day where the most important events have occurred. It's the day when Allah Azza wa Jal relented towards Sayyidina Adam, the day that saw the end of the flood of Sayyidina Nuh, the day when Sayyidina Sulaiman was made to be custodian over his mulk, the day when Sayyidina Isa was born. Now, some of these dates are not verifiable, but nonetheless they are mentioned in our books of history, and ultimately they represent turning points in history, new beginnings, spiritually as well as politically. So when we look at certain events in our past, we realize the weightiness and the impact they have on humanity. The Quranic ayah, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ إِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. There were certainly in their stories lessons for those of insight, and it's the ulul al-bab, the people of insight, that seek to dig out the most precious gems from such stories, because it is these stories that are part of our human heritage. Look at the way in which the Quran speaks about the past. It's as if the past is part of our collective human memory bank. وَإِذْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ وَالْفُرْقَانَ. And remember, we gave Musa the book and the criterion. وَإِذْ قَالَ عِيسَى ibn مَرْيَمَ. And remember, Jesus, son of Mary, said, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا. And remember when Ibrahim said, my Lord, make the city secure. So when Allah brings these events to our attention, He does it in such a way where the historical distance becomes largely irrelevant, and that really enforces the timeless nature of stories. And it's with that framework we approach some of the most momentous events that have occurred, and we can't speak about the day of Ashura without speaking about the slaying, the shahada of the grandson of the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Sayyidina Hussein bin Ali radhiyallahu anhu. Because again, this event is a turning point, as it represents one man's quest to fight oppression and injustice. Today, when we look at the Muslim world, we are overwhelmed by tyranny, overwhelmed by bloodshed, overwhelmed by injustice. And as we are in the closing days of Muharram, we need to really be hopeful and optimistic that a new beginning, a new turning point for this ummah is on its way. Like so many of those watershed moments in our history, today we seek a new chapter, a new episode that is full of barakah and ultimately changes our situation for the better.